Hey everybody, it's Dr. Dave, Psychiatry, reminding you that if medication fixes what's wrong, you have a medical problem, not a mental problem. Today I'm talking about a topic that I think affects really everybody, whether or not you're a patient, and it's the question of information processing. So how this video came about is that I've been doing the channel for a little over a year now, took a look at my YouTube statistics, and I had really some interesting stuff that I was able to observe. Number one, the video that I did on dementia was by far the most popular video. It has been watched almost 100 hours, which in my little YouTube world, that's actually quite a lot. And the second one, the second most viewed video, was about attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. So the topic of can't remember things because of dementia and can't remember things because of ADHD basically says to me that the number one topic that people are concerned about on a daily basis is I can't remember things, or I'm worried that I'm losing my memory, and then by implication, maybe I've got dementia or maybe I've got attention deficit disorder. So it occurred to me that everybody that I talk to outside my office, all my friends, we all sort of have the same problem. If you live any kind of normal life in America today, maybe around the world if you've got cell phones, the problem of information overload is real. People say to me all the time, hey doc, I can't remember things. Well, the truth is, we live in an era where people have a very powerful computer in their pocket, way more powerful than the computer that went to the moon in the 1960s. We have this internet provider and movie generator and instant access to all sorts of information in our pocket all the time. And not only do we have it there, but we have people reaching out to us, people calling us, we have people texting us, we have WhatsApp, we have apps that we look at like Instagram and things like that. So the point is, there is so much information flowing into our little human brains that, in my very humble opinion, we've reached the point of just almost pure saturation. That you can't live a normal life without being able to process tons of information. Now, as an old guy, born in 1960, yeah, I remember the days of the dial phone, and I remember the days of 3 television channels, and I remember the days of the first answering machines, and the first beepers that you could let you know if somebody wanted to get in touch with you, and then the first voicemail systems, and then the flip phone text where you had to be able to remember what the 123 stood for, so you could actually text letters on your flip phone. And you see where this is going, that we have just gone accelerated from one level of technology to another, to another, to another. So if you think back just 50 years ago, how simple was life compared to what it is today? How many things did you have to really think about each day? Now, obviously, if you had a job, you had to think about your job. But if you think about all the other stuff that creeps into our brain, and all the other pressures that we have, it is pretty obvious that our little human brains, which are designed to process a lot of information. When I say little, I'm sort of joking around because the human brain is the most miraculous thing ever created, in my opinion. It processes so many things. It's keeping my heart beating and my hands moving and my eyes open and my lips moving and saying things and thinking what I'm going to say in the next part of this video. The human brain is an amazing thing. But that doesn't mean that it has unlimited potential. And truthfully, we just reach a point where enough's enough. So people say to me all the time, whether I'm in social settings or doing something else, people say, I can't remember stuff. I have so many things I have to remember, I can't remember stuff. Well, I think that the easy thing to say is, hey, maybe I'm getting dementia because I can't remember things. Or maybe I've got ADHD because I can't pull things together and I can't concentrate and can't focus. Well, there is so much noise and activity in our lives that, truthfully, most of us don't have dementia. Most of us don't have ADHD. Most of us have simple information overload. Now, clinically speaking, if you're a patient and you watch the video on dementia, or you can go do that now, not being able to pull things out of memory that were once in memory, that's the cornerstone of dementia. If you have that, you have to work with your doctor about how to get that treated. If you have norepinephrine shortage, which means you really are completely incapable of doing the basics of managing, focusing, staying on task, paying attention, and medicine helps you, well, then if the medicine helps you, that proves that you have that problem. But for the vast majority of people, it is simply that there is too much information going on in their brains. What do I do in my information overload setting? I write lists. If I have a day coming up where I'm not in the office and I have a bunch of things to do, I take out a piece of paper, I fold it in half, and I get out my black Sharpie pen, and I start writing lists of things with a box. Then I check that box off, and I might, going into a weekend, I might have 12 or 15 things that I have to do that I will think of during the day, but I'm going to forget later. So I have to write them down and just go, this is what I'm doing this weekend. This is what I'm doing next. So I have to do all these things. And once I put all those things down, my goal for the weekend is to check the things off the box. Now, this has nothing to do with brain chemistry or clinical psychiatry. This has to do with a basic technique that I think helps a little bit with information overload, but that's really not the point of the video. The point of the video is that if you're watching this and you have said to yourself, well, I might have dementia or I might have ADHD, well, the fact is you actually might just be like me. You might just have too many things going on at the same time and too many things getting thrown at you. And that's part of living in the world in 2025. What's going to look like in 2035 and 2045 when I'm not around? Who knows, man? It's changed a lot in the last 50 years. Anyhow, I hope that's helpful to you. I hope it's reassuring a little bit. I hope the people that watch this video understand that information overload is a real thing. And sometimes that's the most important thing to decide whether or not someone has ADHD or dementia, or they simply just not able to handle all the stuff that's get thrown at us all day long. And when people understand that they don't have ADHD, they don't have dementia, I hope that's a relief to them. And I hope this validates a little bit of what I'm trying to say, that if you simply can't deal with 1,000 things that come at you every day, that sounds normal to me. Okay, well, that's my thoughts for today on information overload. I'm Dr. Dave Psychiatry. Thanks for coming to see me today.